humans, it's just Martine and welcome to a tech week in my life. I talk a lot about books and my schoolwork on this channel, but what I do not talk about as often is the organization that I'm involved with on campus. I'm actually the president of a large performing arts organization on campus, and every semester we put on a show, and it just so happens that this fall we're putting on a musical. It's our first show since COVID started, which is super exciting, and I am the president of the club, so I have responsibilities associated with the show. I am the producer for the show, which has a whole separate set of responsibilities, and then I'm also vocal directing the show. So this semester has been a wild ride, but it's finally here. I can smell the end of the show. Our show opens next week, late next week. So this week we have Tech Week, and then we have Hell Week next week. If you don't know anything about theater, Tech Week is when we take all the stuff that we've learned, the dances, the songs, the acting, and we add on all the technical elements, costumes, makeup, microphones, adding the orchestra pit with our singers instead of the practice tracks we've been using, etc. So I've got a lot of different things going on at one time in my brain to try and make this show happen. As president, I'm watching over everybody else's responsibilities, especially on the executive board of the things that they have to do for each show. As producer, I'm watching the whole production staff as a whole, and also I'm accountable for like all of the cast, as well as everybody's well-being involved in the show, and things like excusals for tests so they can take them at a different time, and running the lobby and cast bonding and stuff like that. And then as vocal director, I taught them the notes, and now I'm gonna give them notes on the notes. And this first night of Tech Week is actually very vocal director heavy because it is our SITS probe. For those of you who don't know, a SITS probe is the first time that the singers or actors sing with the orchestra pit. So it's an exciting night. It's going to be a bit of a crazy night for me. My brain is going to go in 5 different directions, but we have a very capable pit director, and I'm excited for him to start to get to work with the cast this week. I think it's just going to be awesome. I'm super excited to hear how the pit sounds. For the past 2 musicals I've played in the pit. This is the first musical I've done in college where I'm not playing in the pit, which is very bizarre, but I'm excited for the experience. So yeah, it's like T-minus 1 hour, 40 minutes until rehearsal starts for the night. It starts at 7 in the auditorium. So I just did a couple of things, all of which I think are producer related. This morning I wrote up the excusal form. I put all of our events on the system in the school that shows where events are so we can track attendance, especially for like COVID contact tracing purposes. And then just now I made up these sheets. Back in my community theater days at home, we started this tradition that went to almost every other show after that, where we did a Secret Santa component to facilitate cast bonding. And we did this the last time I was producer for a show. We were doing Little Shop of Horrors, and so instead of like Secret Santa, I did Secretly Seymour. And this time, because we're doing Bubble Boy, I did Bubble Buddies. So I have this little form for anybody to fill out from cast, staff, tech, or pit if they want to participate, and we'll exchange little gifts throughout the course of the run of the show. It has things like, you know, their name, their major, favorite snack, passions, hobbies, favorite band, favorite TV show, favorite color, any allergies, all that stuff, so that your bubble buddy can figure out what you're interested in so they can get you a gift that matches you. And you also get to learn a little bit more about the people that you're working with, so that's fun. And then I also wrote out all the attendance codes for Tech Week and sent them to my production staff and like delegated attendance taking roles, because up till this point in rehearsals I've just been taking attendance, but now we also have tech and pit to add on, and I already have vocal director things to do. So the leader of pit is going to be taking pit attendance, the leader of tech is going to be taking tech attendance, and I'm going to be taking staff and cast attendance per usual. So yeah, I'm packing up my backpack now to leave to grab dinner. I have my folder with my Bubble Buddy forms. I have some paper and pens if I need to write anything down. I have my computer. For whatever reason I might need it. I have my printed out vocal score. I think that's it. So, woohoo! Let's get started. Tech Week!
Why do I only count 13?
Thank you, Martine.
It's Tuesday morning. Last night, I ended up going to bed a little after midnight. It was not rehearsal's fault that I was up that late. Rehearsal ended by 10, and then I actually went to get some food with some friends from the show, and then I talked to one friend afterwards for more time, and then I got ready for bed, and then I had to read for a bit to feel sleepy. So then I went to bed. But rehearsal last night was super awesome. Sitspro was like my favorite rehearsal of the entire rehearsal process, and last night did not disappoint. One of the things that's super exciting about the music in this particular show for me is that there's a cello part, and cello is my favorite instrument to listen to. But in my time that I've been in college, none of the musicals we've done have had a cello part. So to have a cello part for my last musical is like, yes. So every time the cello played, I was just like, ugh, dead. There are some songs in the show that are just absolute bops, and the different styles of music depending on the character, particularly for like the character of Mark, just rocks so much. It was so good. Today I have kind of a chiller school day. Luckily this week I don't have too much work. My main like midterm weeks for the previous 2 weeks, so those were crazy with schoolwork, but this week I'm kind of just not forcing myself to get ahead or anything, just kind of coasting along because it's tech week and I want to make sure I'm like taking care of myself, because I also have to take care of everybody else in the show, so like I can't do that if I'm not okay. So this morning I like slept in and then stayed in bed watching YouTube and stuff for a really long time because I don't have my class today, which is nice. I need to take those chances where I've got them. And then tonight for rehearsal, we're going to start at the beginning of Act 1 and add in like a ton of stuff, whether it's spacing on the actual stage because we haven't rehearsed on the stage before, adding the different props, the set pieces, maybe adding microphones so that the pit can hear the actors and stuff. All of those things are what we're going to be doing tonight just for Act 1. We're gonna do slow and steady till the end of Act 1, and then tomorrow will be Act 2. I'm a little nervous for it. It's going to be kind of like a messy, maybe frustrating night, but I know that it's going to be worth it in the end because it's going to help tie the show together. So that's where we're at. It's a very happy night for me because it's one of the nights like once a month where my school gets food trucks and we get free food, and from one of the food trucks we picked, and the mac and cheese truck had my favorite plant-based chorizo option that they sometimes have, but not always, and they haven't had it this semester yet, so I'm so happy. What a start to a long night. Happy Wednesday, I'm headed to rehearsal. Last night was incredibly interesting. I was doing 1,000 things at once, and tonight will be no different, but that's fun. That's part of the fun and part of the challenge and the excitement of Tech Week. I also stayed up entirely too late last night. It was my choice. I was helping people through some things, but I didn't go to bed till like 4:30 a.m. And all of today I had this disturbing amount of energy for somebody who got like 4.5 hours of sleep, but it's catching up with me now. So I just ate dinner. I have my C-bands on because I'm a bit nauseous from lack of sleep. Tonight after rehearsal, I'm going straight home and passing the heck out. Checking in with myself mentally right now. I think I'm feeling good, anxious about tonight, but in a like excited way. Lots of big things happening, things that I'm excited about. Silly things that most people wouldn't think are exciting, like using headsets and stuff. I'm just stoked for. So, headed there now.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's Thursday evening, and by that I mean very technically Friday morning, because it's past midnight. Why didn't I update you earlier about things today? It's just been a little crazy, to be honest with you. Wednesday's rehearsal went pretty well. We didn't actually finish all of Act 2, but that's fine. We just decided to go for a full run today. But unfortunately, one of the leads has like a mandatory thing he has to be at today and tomorrow. He's not like the lead, but he has a pretty big role. And I was like, all right, so that we can get like the lights pointed at the right places and make sure we have the mics turned on at the right time, and so it doesn't screw up the other actors, I'm just going to grab a script and go up on stage and be him for the night. I was wearing my mask and then a microphone and then my headset so that I could talk to the rest of like tech and production staff. I also had my glasses on, so there were like 4 things around my ears, and it was very much like getting painful at certain points. But that's fine, I made it through. It was also interesting because I would be like singing a solo for this person who was absent. So trying to listen to the orchestra and sing a song that like I don't know perfectly or something, looking at the words, all that stuff, and trying to be in generally the right place on stage so I didn't mess up everybody else. There was just constant talking in my headset because tech was obviously like doing things. So that was a really interesting experience. So my brain was kind of jello by the end, and I just needed to like hang out with people a bit to return to being like a normal functioning human. I wasn't like upset or anything. There was one point when I got agitated, which was like the most agitated I've been so far in Tech Week, but I think I handled it pretty well and calmed myself down and like talked to the person who had like agitated me later and like talked to other people about it and through it and stuff. Tomorrow will be even more interesting, or I guess today, which you wouldn't think would be possible because tonight, technically, I was producer. I'm not saying this in like a bragging way. I'm just letting you know how my Tech Week is going. So I was being producer, vocal director, president of the club that's putting on this show, and then I was also playing a part. Tomorrow, I'm going to be producer, vocal director, president of the organization that's putting on this show, playing that part, and kind of serving as the director because the director won't be there tomorrow. That will be interesting, and I'll let you know how it goes, but you probably won't see clips from like it happening because I'm kind of going to be running around like a chicken with my head cut off, not in like the way wherein I'm upset, but just like I'm busy. You know what I mean? It's late. I stayed up maybe a little too late, but not as bad as earlier this week. I'm going to get into bed, read a little, eat a snack, fall right asleep, and be ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow is actually exciting because even though the rehearsal is super busy, we don't have rehearsal this weekend. So after rehearsal is done tomorrow, I'm just gonna like drop everything and do whatever I want over the weekend. And also some homework that I have to do and studying for a test and stuff. But like also just whatever I want because I have time to do the things I need to do and whatever I want instead of just the things I need to do. A novel concept. But anyway, I'm doing good. Slight change of plans. Somebody else was out sick today. So I was actually doing all the things I told you I'd be doing today, plus playing an extra lead role, which is super fun. No, I actually had a really, really good night. Like I felt like the energy was good tonight and communication between people was good, and we fixed some things that needed fixing and stuff like that. My sister came to help me with something at the beginning of rehearsal, and she caught a few clips, and I'm not sure how much I can show you because I don't want to show other people without their permission, but it was a fun time. Very technically, it's the end of Tech Week. Next week is Hell Week and then shows, and I think I'm going to do a separate vlog for that. So I'm gonna end this one off here. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below what's your favorite musical, and subscribe for more reading, writing, and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye!